Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. I am very excited to share the new release from Wayne Goss, namely his blush palettes. I'm sure you've heard about them by now. You know, I really enjoyed and have always loved Wayne's brushes, his Japanese handmade brushes. They're made with such care and they're so elegant and so beautiful. If you own some, you'll know that too. And then, of course, we had Wayne's lipstick collection, which I am representing today. And I was really blown away. And I think at first everyone said, oh, what's Wayne gonna do with makeup? And we knew he was a makeup artist and a YouTube god. Wayne knows that, right? With millions of followers. But the lipstick was really so well curated and so beautiful. And then came the eye palette. And it was with Wayne Goss's eye palette that, I don't know about you, but I really fell in love. It was just so well done. The pan size, the way it lays on the eyes, of course I'm wearing it today. The way you could build it up, you could be everyday with it or elegant. So with the lipsticks, I got, you know, a selection of 3 or 4 of each. After the eye palette, that was it. I was sold. So when the blushes came out, I just could not decide. And then I was thinking of 3 of them. Well, once you get 3, you might as well get 4 if you're me. So I did get all 4. And we are going to try all of them on today. Now, you might have seen some others comparing them. Nothing new here, except that it's me doing it and my skin tone. If you are similar to mine or would like to see that, I certainly hope that you would hang out with me and check these out. So we have 4. Each one is $45, not about, it is $45 for each. And you're getting, let's open up the Peony here. You are getting a really nice big pan again. So let's take a look. This one is the Peony shade. And as you see, we are getting this lovely, lovely big pan that you can fit nice brushes in and swirl around. We have in each blush palette, we have a powder blush and then a shimmer. So let's talk about what's behind that, just in case you don't know. I want you to have all the information. So what Wayne has done here is he's set up a sort of system, and he's tested that system on women of all ages. If this blush, if these shimmers and highlighters lay nicely and look good on skin over the age of 40, even the age of 60 and above, then they'll look good on everybody. When you formulate cosmetics to look good, when you formulate it just on the young, you're going to leave out a big segment. But if you formulate it for mature skin, then it will look good on everybody. And the challenge here is especially with a highlighter. Highlighters, as you probably know, highlight texture and fine lines, and mature skin runs into that, you know, as more of a problem than others. So when you can make it good, and we're going to see if it's good in a minute, for the older and mature skin, it's good for everybody. So that's what we're going to look at today. We have a large pan size. We also have a versatility for all skin tones. So this can be built up. Some of these here, I have a very light medium. I would say I'm a pretty typical light medium. Some of these might be more appropriate for me, but I'm going to show you how I can make them all work, and you can too. This is for a versatile age group and a versatile skin color. So you can kind of, there's something for everybody here. The other thing is we have different ways to wear it. I think that's really exciting as we see more and more innovative blushes come on the market, like Wayne's. We have also innovative ways to put them on. You don't just have to put blush on the apples of your cheeks and highlighter here. And in fact, Wayne has developed a system where you can even put the highlighter down first and then kind of buff the blush in over it, or just wear the blush, or wear the blush with the traditional highlight over it, or just on the high points of the cheeks. So it presents a different way that it could be worn. Most all 3 out of 4 of these blushes, and even the 4th blush, doesn't have much shimmer to it. These are really flat matte blushes. The reason being, Wayne wanted you to have something versatile if you want just a matte blush that day, and it does look like there'll be a lot of mattes as the 90s are kind of back, and I guess the 70s and the 90s are kind of back. So we're seeing a lot of mattes, and if you're gonna just be wearing a matte face in the fall and winter, you could just wear a matte blush. But if you wanna kick it up a little bit, you can put on the highlighter as a topper. So without further ado, and since we have Poppy here open, let's go ahead and start with that. Although actually, I think I lied. We opened Peony first. I'm terribly sorry. I'm getting my names messed up. So this is a petal pink and a cool pink highlighter. And I think this is very, very, very pretty. And we're going to do it in different ways. I've got a bunch of different Wayne brushes out here and my mirror. So let's start on this cheek. Let's just see what this matte blush looks like. But first, of course, let's take a look at it. There's the blush. And here is, ooh, the highlighter. And I'll do a little swatch for you as well. There is the blush and the highlighter. But I'm more interested in seeing it on my cheeks. So let's go in here and see how much we pick up. Let's knock that off a little bit here. And we're going to go on this side just to see a matte blush. I gotta not talk when I do that. Oh, this is beautiful. So look at how that's laying on my skin. Again, we have a matte blush there and nothing here. Now to let you know, here I do have my Wayne Goss Luxury Eye Palette on, and I have some Surratt Dewdrop foundation on and a little bit of concealer. I do not have anything else on my skin. So everything you see on my cheeks will be from Wayne. And here it is. We have the Peony color on just this cheek and not this for comparison. Shall I go a little bit darker, a little bit more overboard so we can kind of see? Okay, here is a kind of a deeper blush look. I am learned to be quite timid with blush because I can go a little over the top. But I'm going to go back to my over the top roots for us here today so we can really see what this looks like on my light medium skin tone. Nothing on this cheek, nothing up my sleeve, and just the matte blush on that. And that is a very, very pretty color. Now let's go ahead and do this highlight just over the top, kind of like a normal highlight would be. And this highlight is really pretty because as you see, it has kind of a pink cast to it. Look at that. Now what happens on this cheek, and you've seen this perhaps done before, if we apply a little kind of buffed in layer of, did you see me stab myself in the eye? Let's pretend I didn't just stab myself in the eye with a blush brush. Okay, so I've applied a little bit of a layer of the highlight first, and I'm going to put this blush just over the top of it. And it's a much different look. I'm kind of buffing in circles, and I'm going to go real heavy-handed so we can really see what this looks like. Okay, so let's take a look here. What we have on one side, so we have the blush Peony here. On this cheek, we have the blush Peony laid down just as a matte blush with a traditional highlight over it. And on this cheek, I experimented a little bit and kind of buffed in the highlighter and put the blush over the top. And I tried to go more heavy-handed than I normally would so you could see it and you can see the difference and tell me what you think. I am going to do a presto changeo and come back, and we're going to do this 4 times. Stay with me. Okay, I'm back. I am clean cheeked. What I have done is taken off all cheek products and just applied a little bit, teeny little bit more foundation and just kind of brushed that in and powdered it so that we have a set base and no color on there, okay? And we are going to look at Coral Rose. So Coral Rose is kind of a peachy blush with a champagne highlight. So there it is right there. Here it is on my fingers. This is fun. Ooh, look at that. My hands were almost shaking. I was so excited. Only I would get this excited about blush, but you would too if it were right in front of you. And there we have that peachy color. Can you see that very well? Let me swatch that a little better for you. There's that beautiful peachy color and that champagne highlighter. I have two clean Wayne Goss brushes, and we're going to do the same that we just did so that we can really see it. But this time I'm not going to be so timid. I'm going to go right in and really put it on there. So again, nothing on the face, exactly like what we started with last time. And again, what I'm trying to do here is give you guys a really good idea of exactly what this would look like on light medium skin. And I really encourage you guys, if you could, I'm buffing this in, just the blush. I really encourage you guys to tell me below what you think and how these work on your particular skin tone. Now I'm going to go in over the top with the kind of champagne-y highlighter, just as a highlighter. And look how beautifully, I'm not disappointed already. Look at this kind of wet, almost glass skin look. Look at it. That is gorgeous. Now, what will this look like when I do the highlighter, when I kind of buff the highlighter in before I put the blush over it, especially with this kind of champagne. And to be honest with you, I kind of wish I had I didn't bring over my buffer brush, but that's okay. These are so high quality, they kind of just, they do themselves. Okay, so what I'm doing, if you stop to make a sandwich, on this cheek we have a matte blush in Coral Rose, and we have the highlighter just literally as a traditional highlight. On this side, what I'm doing is I am taking the Coral Rose color, this peachy color, and I'm kind of buffing it in over the highlight, which is just kind of a new blush technique that makeup artist Wayne Goss has taught us all. So let's do a little comparison. Look at that kind of glass skin look that this is making versus here on this side. Now, another trick that Wayne often talks about, he talked about it with these blushes, and he also has talked about it with blushes, if you've ever really watched Wayne's channel. Wayne really loves, and we'll do it with our last blush, he really loves to take the blush and then run it also in the eye, in the crease of the eye, maybe even under, so that you tie the whole face together. I'm just giving you another look at this. He likes to tie the whole face together, and there's something that when you look at someone and they have a colored blush on and then it kind of goes into the eye crease as well, you don't necessarily notice it, but what you do notice is a very pulled together looking face. It is just kind of an age-old trick, and I recommend you try it with any blush. I'll try it on the very last one, since I'm not going to be taking off my eye makeup here, but I'll do it on the very last one so you can kind of get an idea. So again, here we have the kind of peachy and the highlight there, Coral Rose, and then the highlight buffed in first. We got two more to go. Stay with me. Okay, it's time for Bright Poppy. Bright Poppy is kind of a poppy pink with a little bit of a copper highlighter. Let me just interject here really quickly. I have been, one after another, just kind of taking off and then putting on these blushes. And I want everyone to know I have very sensitive skin, but I'm not having any irritation at all. These are just smooth and beautiful, and they're a powder, but they're not going on powdery. It's just kind of soothing and soft. So I just want you to know, if you ever need to change your blush color, you're not going to have trouble with that. We got another Wayne Goss number 12 here, actually, and we're going to do it the same. So we have a much, much, much brighter pink, but I'm going to do it. I am trying to go bolder on my blush. Oh, that's a little bold, isn't it? And see if this comes off. This is probably one that's definitely a little bit dark for me. As you can see, and I'm trying to go in dark with it. So it's going to definitely be on there. You know what though? I'm blending, and I'm not so mad at it, actually. I mean, that is a bright, bright, bright blush for me, but it's kind of pretty. Like if I were to put this, across my nose, look on a cheerful winter's day. At first I was terrified. I thought, oh my goodness, I put way too much on. Let's add the highlight. Now this, funnily enough, is the one. Remember I told you I almost didn't buy one at the very beginning of this video. I said I almost didn't buy one. This was it. And this is probably not my color, but I'm not hating it. Sorry, I'm looking in the viewfinder and not at you guys. I'm just kind of trying these for the first time. I'm not saying that this is my perfect color. I'm not saying that. But look at this. It's not bad. It's not bad. So originally, I told you guys that I had one that I wasn't really that keen on. This was the one, and you can see why. This is probably not my skin tone, but I'm kind of liking it. I'm actually kind of liking it. I mean, this combination would probably be better on a deeper skin tone, but you know what? I'm kind of having fun with it. Let's just go for it. Let's just do that. I mean, if we're gonna do this, let's do this. Let's buff it in here. And I would think this would be more of a bronzy shade on me. This is definitely not my skin tone. But come on, let's have some fun, right? So we got it on there first, and I'm kind of buffing it in. And now let's go ahead. I'm not even really tapping this off. Let's just go to town. Let's see what we get here. I mean, this is, you know, okay. All right, we don't want to look like we have rosacea. All right, so not my color. Probably the one I could have skipped. But you know what? Okay, I mean, I know I need to work with it, guys. I know. I'm just showing you. Not so bad, though. Not so bad. Look, so here it is with the highlighter. What do you think? Honestly. No, honestly, what do you think? And here it is with that golden. This is the poppy, the bright poppy. Here it is with the golden underneath and the color on top. Now, I did kind of use my hands, and, you know, maybe I should powder over that a little bit. This is the one that's not my color, and I'm still kind of liking it. Like, Wayne, why does it work even though it's not my color? Did we do a swatch of this? I was too excited to get into it. So let's do it. Whoa. Yeah, and you know, like I said, this is the one I was most frightened of. That's just not me. But it's not that bad on me. I mean, what do you think? It's not that bad. We have one more to go, and on the last one, which will probably be a little bit more my speed, and on the last one, I'm also going to put it into the crease of the eye so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I am looking a bit rosy, aren't I? Let's take this off and get to the next. All right, I'm back, bare-cheeked. You're not going to believe me when I say that I was looking at Bright Poppy just now before I took it off, and I'm kind of loving it. This is Bright Poppy again, and it's just not me at all. But I'm like, it's so wrong for me that it's just, it's so wrong, it's right. I kind of love it. Have a Wayne Goss eye brush here that we're going to use in our very, very, very last color, which is Vivid Azalea. Maybe also not my color, but like I said, my favorite is the one that's kind of wrong for me. So let's try this one. So Vivid Azalea, you're going to go, this is kind of a magenta with a white gold. Woo! This big pans. And this time I will remember to swatch it first for you. Wait till you see this on my fingers. Whoa! And I'm going to put this in my eye too. You'll see. Wow. Wow, that's pretty. Okay, let's put it on my cheeks. See now, normally, I would kind of have stuck to Bright Poppy, or I mean to Coral Rose or Peony. I would have stuck with. These two bright ones I really wouldn't have done, but I'm kind of glad that I did. Again, you know, I've been saying this a lot lately. There's a little bit of trust for the maker. I'm trusting Wayne to make something that will work for me. Even if it's not ideal, I'm trusting him to make it work. So now, another issue I am having, the reason these are sticking a little bit, is what I keep doing is just kind of putting on some wet, probably not letting the foundation powder enough, so that's why it looks like it's sticking a little bit, and that's okay. Okay, so this is just our matte, kind of magenta azalea color, and actually that's really pretty, and since this is our last one, I'm just gonna put some across the bridge of the nose. I don't bronze very much in the fall and winter as we go into fall and winter, and so it's kind of nice to just have that little like frosty day kind of look, okay? And then we're gonna go over it with this beautiful kind of white gold highlighter. And I want to give you a good look at that. Put it down the nose, put it over here since this is the last one. That is really pretty. And again, this is another one that I thought wouldn't quite work for me, and look at it work. All right, now we are going to do the highlighter first. And I'm going to just kind of buff that in as I've been doing. And this is kind of that white gold highlighter. Wait till the challenge when I try to put it into the eye. Let's see what it does. Okay, so now we have the highlighter kind of buffed in, and it's looking very, very bright. I'm going to tap that off a bit. And then I'm just going to put the Vivid Azalea just kind of over the top, going into the apples and up and over. You can, you know, with the last blush that had that dark gold, what I would probably do is do the, you know, the outsides. I have a very long face. Why the long face? And so you have to be careful how you shape it. My apples and my cheeks are in kind of a weird spot too, so I have to be a little bit careful with placement, but the higher I go, kind of the better on my face. All right, as I'm chatting away. So here we have Vivid Azalea. We have it here with our, look at that glass highlight. And then here I put the highlight down first, put it over. And as I promised you, I am going to take a little bit of the highlight, I'm dipping into it here, and just kind of apply it to the eye. And then, yes, I'm going to take some of the Vivid Azalea. I know that I'm wearing the Wayne Goss eye set already, but just a little bit. Look at what this does, okay? So here's what I'm going to do, and then I'll do a close-up. What I have done now is I've taken an already done eye, and I've just added that in, and look how pretty that is. Look at that. So I've taken, here's my eye just normal with my Wayne Goss Imperial Luxury Eye Set, Imperial Topaz. And here it is, adding in just a little bit of the cheek color. Do you see how that draws the whole look together? Just a little bit. I could, if I had a different brush with me, I could draw it underneath a little bit too. Just that little bit to just kind of tie in the whole look. Now, if you wanted to, you could just go ahead and do an eye look with the blush. If you're doing a simple thing, you can do for winter a very cheerful, bright blush, even across the nose, just like you've been out in the frost. And I realize I only have one eye and might look a little silly, but stay with me here. You could do a look just with a bright blush, a little bit across the bridge of the nose, and then a little bit in the crease of the eye, with a little bit of the highlighter from Wayne here in the corner, up here under the brow, even across the lid. And you would have a really beautiful kind of snowy, cheerful, chilly winter look. See, I really like that. Even with this Azalea color, which you wouldn't necessarily have paired me with, I think it's very pretty. Again, trust. Wayne Goss has gained my trust, not just with his brushes, but also with his makeup. I am thrilled with all four of these. I'm really, really, really gonna play around with this one, because this is the one I almost didn't get. And so this Bright Poppy, and so now it's the one that interests me the most. So Bright Poppy and I are going to spend some quality time together. Did you get any? If you did, have they arrived yet? Please tell me your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And my goodness, if you haven't subscribed, I would really love to have you as part of my beauty community. So please subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.